At the end of the last episode, we saw Grandfather standing in the doorway, quietly watching Baek desperately try to destroy the general's sword. The boy was swinging the heavy blacksmith hammer repeatedly, determined to shatter the blade. Watching Baek in this agonizing state triggered a memory for Grandfather from 2 years ago. When he first found Baek, Grandfather had just returned from a major city after consulting a renowned doctor about his own failing health. The doctor had given him a grim diagnosis. There is no saving you. Your time is entirely spent. You could pass away in a single day, or perhaps a few, but you cannot survive much longer. You must abandon everything immediately. The doctor specifically ordered him to give up blacksmithing, as the grueling, exhausting labor would only accelerate his death. Leaving the examination room, Grandfather had walked out into the streets with a bittersweet smile, thinking, well, I've lived my full life. What's the use in fearing death now? As he walked a little further, he noticed a young child, Baek, shadowing his footsteps. The boy was starving, shivering, and clearly desperate. Grandfather looked back at him and thought, look at this poor child. I may be a dying man, but surely I have enough time left to at least buy this little one a decent meal. Grandfather brought Baek home that day, asking him gently if he was hungry. Looking back, Grandfather realized that welcoming the boy into his home had changed something deep within him. The doctor had given him mere days to live, but as the days bled into weeks and months, the profound void in his life began to heal. For the first time, he felt truly happy. He finally had a grandson, a joy he had never experienced before. Working side by side with Baek, the days seamlessly turned into 2 whole years. He became so entirely immersed in the joy of raising the boy that he completely forgot about his fatal illness. A man who was supposed to be a temporary guest on this earth survived for 2 extra years, but looking at Baek now, Grandfather knew his luck had finally run out. Time had caught up with him. The scene shifts back to the present. Grandfather steps forward into the glow of the forge and breaks the silence, his voice gentle. My boy, do you truly believe swinging a hammer like that will shatter a blade? A sword does not break that easily. Startled, Baek drops his hands. Grandfather, you're awake? You shouldn't be out of bed. Your health. Grandfather cuts him off with a weak chuckle, trying to lighten the heavy air. With all the racket you're making out here, I woke up terrified that a thief had broken in to steal the general's sword. Please, Grandfather, go back and rest, Baek pleads, his eyes brimming with tears. I will take care of everything out here. Grandfather sits down heavily on a nearby bench. You shouldn't lose sleep over what that village doctor said. He's nothing more than a simple herbalist, you know. 2 years ago, a much better doctor told me I was going to die, yet here I am, sitting right in front of you. There is absolutely no need to worry. I am perfectly fine. A wave of profound relief washes over Baek, and a bright smile returns to his face. Grandfather, I am so incredibly happy to hear that. Grandfather looks deeply at the boy and says, now, young man, why waste your energy trying to destroy this weapon? Instead of breaking it, you should finish repairing it. I will sit right here and guide you. I've spent 2 years teaching you the art of the forge. Will you complete this blade for me? I want to see if you can handle the craft under my watchful eye. He settles firmly into his seat, his gaze unwavering. You are going to finish this sword, Baek. I know you can do it. You know the rules, and you have mastered the basics. Baek blinks in disbelief. Are you truly serious, Grandfather? You want me to forge this? Yes. You, Grandfather says firmly. How long do you plan on just fetching water and moving tools around for me? The time has come for you to step up. I want you to learn to create weapons with your own 2 hands. Baek looks down at his trembling fingers. But my hands are shaking. How can I possibly do this? Everyone's hands shake in the beginning, Grandfather reassures him softly. But I know you have it in you. A surge of pride and hope fills Baek's heart. Will I finally be recognized for my own work? He thinks, deeply moved. He looks up determinedly. All right, Grandfather, I will complete this sword. I know every basic step of the forging process. First, the metal must be heated in the furnace until it glows a fiery red. Then, we strike it with the hammer to shape it, and finally, we quench it in water to temper the steel. I know exactly what to do. Grandfather sits quietly in the shadows, watching the boy's form, seeing the precision and strength behind each strike. A peaceful smile graces the old man's face. He realizes that Baek doesn't just know the basics. The boy possesses a natural gift. Repairing this blade will be no trouble for him at all. Baek pours his absolute soul into the work, hammering through the dark hours of the night. Meanwhile, Grandfather watches him in silent reverence, whispering quiet blessings into the air. My sweet child, it is because of you that I was granted 2 extra years of life. Because of you, I tasted the beautiful joys of grandfatherhood that I always feared I would miss. I got to spend those precious moments with a grandson of my own. As the night deepens, Grandfather's head gently slumps forward against his chest. Sitting right there in the warmth of the forge, he peacefully draws his final breath, absorbed in his intense intense labor. Baek doesn't notice. He keeps his focus entirely on the metal, swinging the hammer through the night. Finally, as dawn begins to break, Baek delivers the finishing strike. The ringing sound of the metal changes, vibrating with a pure, resonant tone. Baek stops, breathing heavily. He senses that the aura of the metal and the essence of the sword have perfectly merged. The blade is completely restored. I did it, Baek breathes, turning around excitedly. Grandfather, did you hear that ring? Did you hear how perfectly the metal came together? It's completely ready. I successfully repaired my very first sword. He rushes toward the bench, but as his eyes fall upon the motionless old man, the sword slips from his hand and clatters to the floor. The excitement drains from his face, replaced by a cold, suffocating dread. Grandfather is sitting perfectly still, his head bowed. Baek runs over and gently shakes his shoulder. Grandfather, did you fall asleep out here? Grandfather, wake up. You missed the sound. I fixed the sword. Please, wake up. But as he nudges him, Grandfather's frail body shifts lifelessly. No, Grandfather. No, this can't be happening. Baek falls to his knees, a raw, primal scream tearing from his throat. The first time Baek had ever cried out with this much agonizing grief was when his father died. Now, history was cruelly repeating itself over the loss of his beloved grandfather. All the pent-up resentment, anger, and sorrow inside his chest burst forth in a flood of tears. He screams into the empty room, utterly shattered, completely unable to comprehend how to move forward. Once again, he has been left entirely alone in this world. A month passes by in a flash. The designated day arrives, and the Supreme General returns to the village, accompanied by little Raimi. Raimi is practically bursting with excitement to see Baek again. She leans her head far out of the carriage window, scanning the path. Where is Baek? Father, where is he? I want to see him right now. The general looks at her with a warm smile. Do you truly miss that boy that much, my dear? Yes, father. I miss him terribly, she beams. The general smiles to himself, reflecting on the boy. To be fair, I was quite fond of the lad myself. There is something remarkably distinct and upright about him. The moment the carriage grinds to a halt outside the house, Raimi leaps out and runs through the front doors. Songa, where are you? Big brother, look, I'm finally here. Raimi came back to play with you. Where are you hiding? But as she bursts into the workshop, her voice dies down. Baek is sitting alone in the dim light, clutching the general's beautifully repaired sword. He looks utterly hollow, his face stained with silent tears. Deeply shaken by his grief, Baek leads the visitors to the back of the property. Standing before a freshly dug grave, he quietly informs them that Master O has passed away. At the head of the mound stands a wooden burial tablet. Baek had carved the inscription himself, his neat handwriting reading, "Here lies the greatest blacksmith in the world, a true master of the blade." Seeing the grave, little Raimi bursts into tears. Having already lost her mother, witnessing death touch someone else she cared about breaks her heart. Seeing her distress, her personal guard steps forward, gently guiding her away toward the path. "Young miss, please come back to the carriage with me. I do not think Songa will be able to play with you today. Let us give him some space." He leads the weeping girl away. Once they are alone, General Dongbang Chunu stands before the grave, deeply conflicted. "What should I do now?" he muses. "I came here intending to richly reward Master O for his exceptional service. The man forged a legendary weapon for me, and then put his final energies into repairing it. To think he was fighting a fatal illness the entire time he worked on my blade." The general turns his gaze to Baek, his mind shifting to the boy's uncertain future. He looks at the flawless repair job on his sword, realizing the immense talent the boy possesses. Then he glances at the burial tablet, noting the elegant, educated handwriting. This boy isn't just an exceptionally skilled craftsman. He is highly literate and educated. He possesses true knowledge. The general walks up to Baek, placing a heavy, reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Song, Baek, would you like to come with me? If you have no one else left in this world and nowhere to go, you can return to the capital with me." We see Baek stood there, trapped in his own thoughts.